aí. Mais dia de evento. Vamos ver o que vai vir mais aí, ver se vem embargo para nós ou não. Vamos ver. E como que vocês estão aí, pessoal? Tudo tranquilo? Vamos lá, né? Começar aí os trabalhos.
Talvez chegue o meu tênis hoje.
Uhum.
Vou ali no material que eu comprar uns pincéis e vou fazer um serviço lá.
Tá bom. Uhum. Tchau. Aham. Vamos lá, pessoal, começar. Daqui a pouco começa aí. E gostaram do evento de ontem, pessoal? Tem que dar um crânio aqui, pessoal. Enquanto não começa, dá pra colocar um. Tem que dar um crânio aqui, né?
중요한 요소이고, 네, 가장 긴 리치를 자랑했던 중세의 창 역시 그 무기를 쓰는 게 생존에 가장 큰 도움이 될 것 같습니다.
So the answer would be any type of spear, because
Das wäre auf jeden Fall eine Art Speer, den man sich auch bastelt. Eine der ersten Waffen, die man hat, war eine Mistgabel. Und das gilt im Endeffekt als Speer, als Kategorie, wegen der Distanz, die man damit überbrücken kann.
Wir sprechen ja hier über ein Zombie-Spiel. Und wir sind natürlich hier im Mittelalter. Also grundsätzlich sind Zombie-Spiele natürlich immer ein bisschen skurril, aber sagen wir jetzt mal, kann man sich in einem Pub verstecken vielleicht, wenn es draußen einfach zu krass wird? Ist das eine Möglichkeit?
힘들면은 가서 그 펍 들어가서 숨어 있거나 뭐 그런 식으로 플레이가 가능할까요?
그렇죠. 펍은 사실 그때도 굉장히 사람들이 많이 드나드는 곳이었기 때문에 오히려 위험할 겁니다. 거기 현재도 펍이 구현되어 있는데 그 속에는 좀비가 굉장히 많이 있거든요. 물론 구할 수 있는 물자도 많이 있겠지만 하지만 위험을 감수해야 그 많은 물자들을 루팅할 수 있을 것 같네요.
So we actually have implemented the pub.
Ja, also den Pub gibt es aktuell im Spiel, aber da findet man zwar jede Menge Ressourcen, allerdings ist es dort auch sehr belebt, da sind viele Leute unterwegs und deshalb ist es natürlich auch riskanter, weil deswegen auch Zombies dort sind.
Okay, danke für die Warnung. Wir sind fast am Ende, daher noch kurz meine Frage. Gibt es ein Easter Egg, was man im mittelalterlichen Birmingham vielleicht finden kann?
그 가티브 버밍엄에서 중세 버밍엄과 관련된 이스터에그 같은 걸 찾아볼 수 있을까요?
이스터에그요. 중세 버밍엄에 대한 이스터에그라고 하면은 아마 버밍엄의 유명한 뭐 아티스트라든지 혹은 유명한 드라마 이런 것들이 있는데 거기서 찾아볼 수 있는 것들을 중세틱하게 살짝 바꿔서 넣는 이런 것들 기대해 볼 수도 있을 것 같은데 뭐 아직은 뭐 기본적인 시스템 만드느라 바빠서 그건 아마 한참 이후에 볼 수 있을 것 같네요.
So we're considering.
Ja, also wir haben verschiedene Optionen, die wir in Betracht ziehen. Zum Beispiel berühmte Künstler oder Gemälde, die man kennt. Vielleicht gibt es da dann auch irgendwie mittelalterliche Versionen davon. Aber wir arbeiten noch dran. Erstmal arbeiten wir am Spiel selbst. Das ist aktuell unser Fokus, aber für die Zukunft machen wir das vielleicht, ja.
Okay, also werden wir das dann sehen, wenn das Spiel rauskommt. Prima, dann nochmal ganz herzlichen Dank an euch, dass ihr heute hier wart. Ach, es gibt einfach so viel, worüber man sprechen kann. Mittelalterliches Birmingham, Zombie-Apokalypse, wie das zusammenpasst, findet ihr bald raus. Bleibt hier bei uns, bei IGN und bei uns im Studio.
Herzlich willkommen zurück hier im Gamecom Studio. powered by IGN, hier auf der Gamescom 2025. Und ich habe eine gute und eine schlechte Nachricht. Die schlechte ist, wir sind leider schon am Ende der heutigen Show. Die gute ist, wir sind aber morgen wieder für euch da. Das war der Mittwoch, der erste Tag der Gamescom hier bei uns im Gamescom-Studio. Wir haben viel gesehen, wir haben viel erlebt, ihr habt viele Gäste hier im Studio gehabt und morgen geht es natürlich auch spannend weiter. Ich hoffe, ihr habt noch Lust, morgen wiederzukommen.
Ja, doch.
Doch, geht noch. Einer geht noch, würde ich sagen.
Morgen werde ich dich definitiv nicht so lange suchen am Xbox-Stand.
Ja.
Aber ja.
Da war aber auch einfach wahnsinnig viel los.
Ja, das stimmt.
Aber wir konnten Silksong anspielen.
Du.
Endlich. Für mich ist die Gamescom jetzt eigentlich auch schon. Ich kann so
Mädchen ansetzen.
Ich habe Silksong
Das macht sehr deutlich, ja.
Es ist kein Scam-Spiel. Es ist wirklich existent. Es gibt's. Man kann es spielen. Es ist keine Vaporware. Ja. Sehr schön. Auf was freut ihr euch morgen? Wir haben Borderlands im Studio, wir haben Outer Worlds 2 im Studio. Dann hatten wir ja bei der ONL auch gesehen, World of Tanks zeigt ein neues Spiel. Das schauen wir uns morgen auch genauer an. Man kann wusstet ihr, dass man mit Panzern Powersliden machen kann? Das werden wir morgen erfahren.
Ja, natürlich. Das sind Sachen, mit denen beschäftige ich mich in meiner Freizeit. Wie slide ich am besten mit meinem Panzer um die Ecke? Selbstverständlich.
Und ein Highlight wird natürlich auch endlich Anno. Mann, das neue Anno.
Das neue Anno.
Ja, in
Oh mein
Deutschland.
Gott.
Eine Gamescom ohne Anno, das wäre keine Gamescom.
Ja, ich habe die ja letztes Jahr, die waren ja auch schon bei uns im Studio letztes Jahr.
Ja,
und ich habe
stimmt.
gebettelt und gemacht, könnt ihr uns nicht irgendwas zeigen? Ein bisschen Gameplay, ein bisschen ein Screenshot, irgendwas. War aber noch nicht so weit. Und jetzt ist es endlich da. Sie haben auch einen riesen Stand hier bei Ubisoft natürlich. Und
Ich wünsche,
Anno,
sie hätten
alle
einen
drehen
riesen
durch.
Sky hier.
Ja, das wäre schön.
Am Stand so eine
Würde ja
riesen-
gerade passen, aber er hat jetzt ja just seine Schauspielkarriere beendet.
Ja,
Also
schade.
vielleicht kann man ihn
Bisschen
nochmal
zu
für...
spät. Ein
Das wäre doch
bisschen
toll,
zu
oder?
spät,
Mit
ja.
ihm hier diesen Anno.
Der Stand ist wirklich ein Highlight.
Ja.
Also, mein Gott. Eine Kollegin meinte erst so, was ist denn das mit Anno hier in Deutschland? Und da habe ich zu ihr gesagt, du bist noch nicht so lange hier auf der Gamescom, ne? Aber, ja.
Aber das ist ja auch immer das Witzige, wir mussten ja auch unseren US-Kollegen hier immer erklären letztes Jahr, nee, ihr müsst Anno in der Show haben. Ihr seid in Deutschland, ohne Anno dürft ihr hier keine Gamescom-Show
Ganz
machen.
verrückt.
Und dieses Jahr musste ich keine Überzeugungsarbeit mehr leisten. Das war dann von Anfang an klar, dass die Anno-Kollegen auch im Englisch...
Neusaldina muscular. Máxima potência contra as dores no corpo.
Meu trabalho é fácil porque eu uso o Quec. Veja como acompanho todas as minhas tarefas. Começo organizando mentalmente tudo o que preciso fazer em uma visual.
Anne? Hi, Mom. You have been on that thing all day.
Well, if you're gonna work so late.
Get some sleep, eh?
I'm almost done, just a sec.
It's really coming down hard.
Mom, phone. Mom.
It's right beside you.
Hello?
Miss Ashcroft?
Yes.
Who was it?
Dunno. They asked for Miss Ashcroft and then they hung up on me. Rude. What the?
They're coming. Grace, we need to go.
Go where? Mom, what's going on?
Hurry.
Wait, who's coming? What's wrong?
Shh. We need to keep our voices down.
This is ridiculous.
Come on.
Tell me what's going on.
Now is not the time. Stay close.
Mom, wait!
Grace, keep moving.
Oh, who's that? Oh, I'm so sorry about the power outage.
What happened?
It's really no excuse, and I apologize for the inconvenience.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Don't worry.
I should have it fixed soon. I just need to find my...
Come on in here, Grace. Grace, look at me. Grab my hands. Okay, look at me. Look at me. In and out. Breathe in and out. Oh, Grace. I promise you, I will explain this all to you one of these days. Grace. Please know that you are my hope. Never forget that.
What are you talking about?
Just... I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
Mom, I'm scared.
No. We need to find a way out of here now.
But we don't have any of our stuff.
We can come back for it later, Grace.
Cara, matou ela. Minha teoria, pessoal, é de alguém vem salvar ela ali. Pode ser a Jill, pode ser a Claire, pode ser o Leon com as piadinhas dele, pode ser o pai dela também, não sei, né? O chefe lá, o amigão lá, esqueci o nome dele. Vocês acham? Daí a Claire falando, que porra é essa? Bom, o que tá acontecendo aqui? Ele, né? Manda a cabeça, filho da puta. Que legal. E duas, três. Porra, esqueci. 3 tiros de 12, cara, na cabeça já era, hein? Que massa. Vou cair de novo pra quem não viu. Começa lá.
Hang on.
You have been on that thing all day.
Well, if you're gonna work someday.
Get some sleep, eh?
I'm almost done, just a sec.
It's really coming down hard.
Mom, phone. Mom.
It's right beside you.
Hello?
Miss Ashcroft?
Yes.
Who was it?
Dunno. They asked for Miss Ashcroft and then they hung up on me.
Rude.
What the?
They're coming. Grace, we need to go.
Go where? Mom, what's going on?
Hurry.
Wait, who's coming? What's wrong?
Shh. We need to keep our voices down.
This is ridiculous.
Come on.
Tell me what's going on.
Now is not the time. Stay close.
Mom, wait!
Grace, keep moving.
Who's that? Oh, I'm so sorry about the power outage.
What happened?
It's really no excuse, and I apologize for the inconvenience.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Don't worry.
I should have it fixed soon. I just need to find my...
Esse personagem é novo, hein? Pode ser. Pensei que era o chefe dela, hein, pessoal, mas não é, não. Pode ser o... cara lá do Resident 3 lá. Resident Evil. O chefão lá, esqueci o nome dele, pô. Fala aí nos comentários aí, pessoal. Quem que é? Quem que vocês acham que é?
Come on in, Grace.
Ali corta, ó. Ali corta já corta pra cá. Já. A certeza das duas tá fugindo.
Grace, look at me. Grab my hands. Okay, look at me. Look at me. In and out. Breathe in and out. Oh, Grace. I promise you, I will explain this all to you one of these days. Grace, please know that you are my hope. Never forget that.
What are you talking about?
Just... I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
Mom, I'm scared.
No. We need to find a way out of here now.
But we don't have any of our stuff.
We can come back for it later, Grace.
Aí o cara mata ela. Ué, pode se salvar, né? Tá muito massa, cara, esse trailer. Caraca, que trailer que é esse, cara? A boneca dela é linda. Já vai começar daqui a pouco, já. E aí, o que vocês estão achando aí? Vocês acharam do evento de ontem aí, pessoal? Vocês esperam hoje? Deixa eu ver se tá tudo ok aqui. Deixa eu fazer um teste aqui. Cara, tá lindo esse jogo, cara. Ah, eles jogaram, cara. Que massa o como, cara. Que massa os caras jogaram, cara. Tomara que venha o avião pra nós, né? Senão só em São Paulo, cara. Que bosta. Compartilha aí, pessoal. Deixa o like. Se inscreva aí.
Touro sortudo, o touro que paga. Comece jogando com centavos.
Sejam muito bem-vindos a mais um vídeo do Combo Infinito. Eu sou Ariel. A diferença é que nós estamos no mesmo recinto, porque nós estamos na Alemanha, Alepitecos.
Exatamente, viemos para Gamescom 2025. Pude testar alguns jogos, você também. Vamos falar disso muito em breve. Mas esse é um dos mais especiais que a gente já jogou.
E esse só o Alepiteco jogou até agora. Eu tô tentando conseguir um horário. Acho que vai dar certo.
Vai dar certo, vai dar certo.
E
vem na minha, pai.
É simplesmente o jogo de maior destaque da Gamescom, que é Resident Evil Hacking. Resident Evil 9, finalmente, nós podemos jogar aquilo que nós só podemos ver. Ou seja, a gente estava com saudades daquilo que a gente não havia vivido. mas agora nós vivemos a Aleptecos. Então, Aleptecos, por onde você quer começar, rapaz? Onde testou, como testou, em que rodou e como foi?
Bom, primeiramente a gente estava ali num complexozinho que não era dentro da Gamescom, mas algo montado pela NVIDIA, né, para mostrar vários jogos, tudo, cara, 5090, RTX 5090, DLSS 4,
top,
Frame Generator, cara, o que você quer? Tem.
E se você tá querendo saber como é que é, já tá na tela pra você o gameplay. Esse gameplay que você tá vendo é do Combo Infinito, foi o Aleptecos que jogou, né, Lê?
Exatamente. Então a gente não teve muito tempo, né, em torno de uns 20 e poucos minutos, e ali já deu pra perceber bastante coisa, porque foi mais ou menos aquela build que a gente viu no Summer Game Fest, e que as pessoas viram alguns detalhes depois, certo? E a gente joga ali com a Grace Ashcroft, e a gente sai daquela maca, sabe? Quando você tá todo, sei lá, perdendo sangue ou fazendo uma transfusão, não dá pra entender muito bem o que tá acontecendo ali.
Não houve explicações.
E você tenta encontrar saídas. Então tem o puzzle, né, clássico do Resident Evil, mas o que chama a atenção, Ariel, de primeira é o visual que tá lindo.
Verdade.
Na 5090,
nossa,
na moral,
cara. Na moral.
Tá mais bonito que a vida.
Tá, mano,
que a gente gosta de falar isso.
Pois
né?
E Resident com a RE Engine é muito da hora.
Muito bem feito. E aí, cara, logo de cara, você já sente a atmosfera do jogo.
E qual é? Você jogou em primeira pessoa ou em terceira? Porque dá pra mudar, né?
Boa pergunta. Joguei em primeira pessoa.
Ok.
E aí, eu tive uma experiência incrível.
O
rapaz que estava ao meu lado, eu pude dar uma telada, tá ligado? Dei uma espiada.
O cara tava jogando em terceira?
O cara tava jogando em terceira pessoa. Cara, me pareceu muito bom.
Tá.
Eu vi um pedacico de nada, porque eu tinha que prestar atenção no meu.
Lógico.
Mas o que eu vi dele eu achei interessante, tá? Eu acho que vai funcionar muito bem.
Eu acho que eu vou ter que jogar em terceira porque eu devo jogar em live. Aí a galera não vai aceitar jogar em primeira.
Mas a primeira pessoa tá muito legal. Traz aquele sentimento de aquela atmosfera aterrorizante. Esses 20 minutos eu tomei legal uns 3 sustos.
Caramba, mano.
E aquele sentimento de urgência.
Né? Você já viu aquilo?
Já vi aquilo, mas quando você tá com headset, no ambiente e tudo, mano, é outra parada.
É verdade. E lá nos testes nós estávamos usando um headset da Logitech.
Exato.
Só que esse aqui ainda é melhor. Esse aqui é o G522 e a gente está utilizando ele para gravar o vídeo para você, porque esse microfone dele é maravilhoso. Mas acima de tudo, é um headset que você pode fazer diversos tipos de ligações. Dá para ligar sem fio, como a gente está ligando agora. A gente está via wireless, na verdade. Você pode ligar via Bluetooth, você pode ligar via cabo USB também. Ele tem o Light Sync aqui, ó, que fica brilhando conforme vão acontecendo as ações no seu jogo. Então, ó, a Logitech está com a gente aqui na Alemanha e você pode comprar no Kabum, logo.
E ó, alta qualidade, leveza e conforto.
Exato, ó, aqui na descrição tem mais informações pra você.
Isso aí.
Mas e aí, você então tava jogando, o som tava incrível.
Tava incrível.
E Resident Evil é assim, né, cara?
A atmosfera, eu vou dizer que a perseguição desse, ela tá bacana.
Vocês finalmente estão conseguindo ver o que a gente viu no Summer Game Fest, né? A gente não tinha captura, e agora nós temos. E vocês estão vendo que monstro que é, ou vocês vão ver, eu já vi aqui no gameplay.
Isso.
E esse monstro, a gente também não pôde ver como é a partir do momento onde ele aparece. A gente tem, na nossa demo do Summer Game Fest, é cortado. Isso você pode jogar, então. Você pode ver esse monstro de novo, em detalhes.
Isso, exatamente. E ali você consegue vê-lo e consegue também... quando a gente viu no Summer Game já dava pra entender algumas formas de evitá-lo, tá? Por exemplo, ele não lida bem com a luz. Então se ele chega no ambiente iluminado, ele foge.
Aqui na Alemanha ele está perdido, só anoitece às 10 da noite.
Exato. E ele é um perseguidor, pelo menos nesse momento, tá? E ali tem umas perseguições bem aterrorizantes.
Legal.
Porque você tá num lugar, num momento você tá num lugar iluminado, você fala, pô, tô seguro, de repente, puf, ele derruba a energia.
Ah, entendi.
E aí você fala,
nossa,
agora lascou pra não dizer outra coisa.
Mas isso é muito louco, porque a RE Engine no Village já usava Ray Tracing para poder ter uma iluminação em sombra animal. Então com essa brincadeira, o ambiente deve ficar incrível.
Tá incrível. Aí tem todo o gameplay de puzzle, né, de encontrar um negócio para pegar você pega um item para abrir um outro item e você pega esse outro item para abrir outra coisa para poder pegar o seu item de missão.
Que louco, mano.
E aí funciona assim, cara, de verdade, esses 20 e poucos minutos foram extremamente satisfatórios. Tô super ansioso pro jogo. Foi aquela sensação de Resident Evil tá muito presente. E eu acho que eles vão trazer vários elementos novos com essa nova protagonista e esse monstro que eu acho que pode ser capaz de várias coisas legais. Assim.
Mas a gente tinha nos rumores e tal que esse Resident Evil ele ia mudar muito a franquia. No fim das contas, eles mesmos já disseram que iam jogar mais seguro. É isso que você sentiu?
Nesses 20
Parece
minutos eu senti.
Uma sequência do Village.
Eu senti um upgrade de várias coisas do Village, né? Principalmente visual e sonoro. Mas
que é o que a gente sempre espera.
Mas aquele sentimento de perseguição e de urgência, eu acho que ele tá ainda mais potencializado.
Legal.
Entendeu? Então eu acredito que ele vai por esse caminho o jogo inteiro. Óbvio, 20 e poucos minutos é um recorte muito pequeno, mas eu consigo entender um grande potencial aí.
Quando a gente viu a apresentação no Summer Game Fest, a gente viu ela abrindo algo com uma chave de fenda.
Isso, esse é o puzzle. Esse é o puzzle.
A demo acabou em que momento, assim?
Eu não pude terminar a demo, porque o tempo foi finalizado.
Você ficou explorando, cara?
Eu explorei muito, mas e fugi muito bicho.
Você ficou fugindo de bicho?
Não, mas assim, não é rapidinho não. Você tem que ir lá, aí você tira, tem um momento que você pega um carrinho para poder subir e pegar a chave de fenda.
Carrinho de quê?
Carrinho de enfermeira, aqueles carrinhos que levam remédio.
Tá bom.
E aí você tá, tipo, com o maior cuidadinho do mundo.
Barulho chama ele.
Para não atiçar o monstro. Pim! Cai uma garrafa, explode lá. Eu acho que não, você controla, mas eu acho que toda vez que você for mexer, não importa com a leveza, vai cair alguma coisa e aí o monstro vem te perseguir.
Nossa, mano, eu tô vendo o quanto de coisa que a Capcom pode fazer, porque é claro que a gente ainda não tem informações e eu acho que pode acontecer de chegar alguma coisa no futuro de um personagem injogável. O pessoal tá esperando muito pelo Leon. Eu já falei aqui, cantei.
Eu acho que não, cara.
Eu já cantei a bola aqui que eu acho que
do começo ao fim.
Então, eu acho que eu já cantei a bola aqui que eu acho que o Leon é o novo Chris.
Pode ser.
Ele vai aparecer.
Uma aparição que ela é rápida, mas ela tem algum significado importante. E, enfim, mas a protagonista é a Grace.
O Chris não é tão rápido, mas ele definitivamente está muito longe.
Comparado com o Ethan no momento da proporção, é muito rápido.
Lógico. Então eu acho que o Leon vai ser parecido. Então a gente não tem como saber disso, né? Mas a protagonista, ela passou essa sensação de que dá pra carregar um Resident Evil?
Cara, é muito interessante que no voice acting da personagem ali, desde o primeiro momento, ela se sente muito insegura, com muito medo e o tempo inteiro, pode ser pela questão, pelo quadro atual dela, que tá com fraqueza e tudo mais, mas ela claramente tá um pouco perdida do que tá acontecendo e tá com muito medo.
E a gente viu que ela tem motivos pra isso por causa do trailer que passou na Opening Night Live.
Isso.
Onde a gente provavelmente estaria vendo a mãe dela falecer.
Mas detalhe, acho bem possível sim que ela seja uma protagonista de Resident Evil, porém não acho que ela vai ser porradeira. Não acho que ela vai ser a lá Ethan, a lá
Leon, Chris,
né? Eu acho que ela vai ser uma protagonista mais na delas, tipo cadenciada. Isso.
Já falaram, ela não é uma super heroína. Galera, mais vídeos pra vocês vão chegar aqui no Como Infinito, que nós estamos na Alemanha para poder testar tudo pra vocês na Gamescom, e só as gravações que estão saindo hoje são do primeiro dia, mas ainda assim faltam mais 4 ou 5 dos que estão passando só nesse dia. Eu tô já eliminando os vídeos que vão chegar durante o dia. Hoje ainda tem mais 2 e são muito especiais. Não percam, tudo aqui no Como Infinito, parceria com Kabum e Logitech.
Beleza, valeu, cara. Começar aqui. E aí, gostaram do que viram? Eu acho, né? Não tenho certeza. Eu vou jogar no lançamento. Ou eles podem me trazer antes do lançamento também? Também. E aí, tranquilo, meu parceiro? Foi mal. E aí, como é que tá a família? Tá sossegando, hein? parou, ó. Caraca. E aí, o que vocês acharam? Tô vendo que isso sai alguma coisa mais. Ó, esse aí me quebra, seus vagabundos. Esperar, né? Ih, só que foto caiu. Ah, não. Você caiu do ar, cara. Porra. É o segundo dia, hein? Cara, tá muito sombrio, cara, esse jogo, cara. Ó, tá vendo uma situação. Mas tá em inglês por enquanto. Deixa eu lá dentro. Olha o cavalinho. Cavalhaço. Ah, ligo logo. Aqui é a saída. Tá.
Dead.
Aqui é a saída. Bonito, hein? Eu vou jogar em terceira pessoa, pessoal. Não vou colocar em terceira. Vamos ver primeiro aqui. Mais um fusível. Ah não, o fusível que nós vamos pegar aqui. Ah não, tem mais um. Não. Vou colocar alguma coisa ali. Olha o fio dela. Ei, estão achando. cortou já. E agora é a parte lá da mulher. Tem que ter chave ali, cara. Já pode esconder. Tem uma mulher mais.
Infected.
Tamanho da Nossa,
Oh my god.
Ai, meu Deus. Puta que parece um garoto vai foder. Ah, o mundo. Caraca.
Not this way, not this way, not this way.
Escolhe, cara. Poxa, ela vem na cara dela. Corre, cara. Ela não corre, ela fica andando, pô. Ah, cortou de novo. Agora de primeira pessoa. gente lá, gente. Tomara que tenha um deles pra nós. Cara, eu que tá indo primeiro e terceira pessoa também, cara. Vocês não estão vendo? Outro bom. Tá muito embaixo esse jogo, cara. Acabou. Isso aqui é merda. Certo. Eu acabo porque alguém vem falar.
Stay close.
Ué. Entendi. O idiota não. E aí, gostaram do que viram, hein? Cara, a gameplay tá muito massa, cara. Pô. Certeza que alguém vai ali pra salvar ela. Ou o livro, né? O livro vai salvar ela. Tá muito massa, cara. 3 minutinhos. Eu não vi o começo. Ah, tem que falar um negócio.
Dead.
Calma aí. Deixa o like aí, pessoal. Compartilha aí. Vou fazer enquete aqui pra vocês aqui. Deixa o like aí, pessoal. Compartilha aí. Bota aí, pessoal. Ok? Bota aí pra mim saber. Só pra mim saber, pessoal. Se é a primeira zerada, hein? Já 9 horas de conversa. Viu? Fazendo, pô, não entendo. Ah, o esquerdo. Eu já vi, meu. Agora espera. Demorando, hein? Já era pra estar começando, hein? Pô. Tá demorando demais já. Pega muita de mata, cara. Eu demo aqui também.
Hello, this is Edis, your autonomous base administrator. Unregistered guest identified. Walker, please remove him from the premises.
Hey, watch out.
something right here. Oh, come on. Damn it. Hey, get behind me. Move. Hey, you need to...
I think I can help. Bypassing first and second firewall, helping control protocols. Analyzing, converting the interrupt matrix. Visualization complete. Initiating hack.
Don't look now. We got company.
Really sure you look here.
What? This is my fault?
Emergency lockdown for this area has been disabled.
There we go. First one down. This freaking thing is tough as hell.
Emergency lockdown for this area has been disabled.
That's two.
Emergency lockdown for this area.
That's, how many now? Need us again. I feel like a damn rat in a maze. Whatever. Let's just get this over.
Emergency lockdown for all on-site locations has been disabled.
I hope dropping down here somehow leads us back up to the top floor.
There has to be an elevator somewhere ahead.
Here either. Damn. I gotta hurry and contact Earth. This should help.
Come on! What is this nonsense? Guys, I need some help.
This will make it easier to hit things harder. Initiate.
Where'd the wall go?
It was just a hologram.
Might be more of these things around here. Stay sharp.
Intruders detected. Please remove them from the premises.
How you like this?
Watch out! There's more! I'm on. Are we there yet?
Not sure.
Lockdown disengaged. Reconnecting primary power. Energy levels at 30%. 40%. 50%. 60%.
Warning. Unauthorized access detected. Severing primary connection. This is Edith. Unregistered guests are forbidden from this area. Initializing sector guard protocol. Scanning. Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize? Us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. Get ready. Not one of your talk buddies? Then I guess we could just go and blast it. Get all those missiles! Lucky us, right?
restored.
Yeah, baby. We did it! This is how we say, good job.
The future. It isn't just a dream. It's a promise. One we're turning into reality. With our third generation of Luna filament and advanced generative AI, we're reshaping the line between...
You patched me up.
I am DI03367. They are pragmatic.
Hang on a second.
Don't you have a name or something?
Get behind me!
I think I can help.
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls. Hooking control protocols. Initiating hack.
Muito inteligente ela, cara. Inteligente pra caramba. Pô, não vai começar não? Porra! Caraca! Essa aqui é 2 horas. Esse outro. Ai, ai. Deixa o like aí, pessoal. Eu tô vendo que eu vou ter que assistir o outro ali. Ali. Caraca. Olha nosso amigão aqui.
And like her xenomorph stalker cousin,
Beleza, Leon.
this monstrosity can and will travel above you through the ceiling space, dropping down as quickly as it can scarper up. Basically, she's relentless and can easily outmaneuver you.
Ela não pode, ela tem fraqueza contra a luz mesmo, assim como o cara encapuzado que aparece. Aí a cara dela.
Fortunately, there are a few tools in Grace's arsenal that can
O olho
help
dela
survive.
tem
The
um olho
first
dela que
being
é
the
mais
affirmation
inchado
glass
assim, né?
bottle.
O outro tá
As you might
fechado.
expect, their primary
Oh, caraca. Eu assisti o anterior. Eu acho.
On the globe for an unforgettable community experience. Join live shows, esports tournaments, and creator events at the Gamescom Event Arena. Can't make it to Gamescom in person? Visit our website gamescom.global and experience all program highlights via our content hub, Gamescom Now. While you're there, make your voice count in the Gamescom Award. Vote for the most exciting games, groundbreaking products, and jaw-dropping innovations presented here at Gamescom. Do you remember our
Deixa o like aí, pessoal. Tem que assistir o outro aqui, cara. Aquele ali não tá aí. Isso é português de Portugal. Caraca.
incredible friends and gaming experts from IGN? Of course, they're back, hosting full days of Gamescom studio live streams on Twitch and YouTube. Oh, hey, AP, crashing the party. You'll find our all-time favorite RPG Gamescom epics on our website. Join the community and grab your loot. Now moving on to something that is very important to us. Our initiative, Gamescom Cares. We want to shine a light on social and environmental responsibility. In order to reduce emissions, Gamescom runs on 100% renewable energy. Just as important, accessibility is key for us. Gamescom should be a safe, inclusive space for everyone. Speaking of inclusive spaces, the Gamescom City Festival is taking over the city with live music, awesome shows, and all kinds of fun. Did we mention? Entry to the City Festival is free for everyone. Welcome to the playground. Welcome to Gamescom.
Herzlich willkommen auf der Gamescom 2025. Ich befinde mich hier bei der Opening Night Live. Das ist die traditionelle Eröffnungsshow der Gamescom von und mit Jeff Keighley. Und da gibt es eigentlich immer was zu sehen. Dieses Jahr angekündigt neues Zeug von Resident Evil 9. Wir haben einen Trailer zu Black Ops 7 und ein bisschen Borderlands 4 ist auch dabei. Welche ein oder andere Überraschung vielleicht noch auf uns wartet, das besprechen. Sprechen wir später im Studio, da warten nämlich schon Manu und Sebastian auf mich, damit wir die Highlights für euch aufbereiten können. Also bleibt dran.
My massive, galaxy-spanning streaming network is expanding.
Nice imagery.
To score eyeballs, I need talent.
Now that is efficient exposition.
The biggest, baddest bastards recruited across time and space. They require persuasion.
Look who it is. Spyro Gyro, a deluxe portal for two, if you please.
Adoring fans will be watching your every move.
Fighting on a reality show to the cheers of trillions.
Minimum effort. I have little tolerance for low ratings.
Oh, shit. OMG.
There is a dangerous individual aboard. I have to stop him first.
If you give in to your emotions, the mutation will progress more rapidly. You'll forget who you are.
My cognitive functions are affected by the infection. Logic dictates that every problem has a rational solution.
You love and you hate, and now you're alone.
I once knew a spy. Brilliant, relentless, magnetic. Her name was Herschel. Dark gold hair, a well-worn life beneath. A dandelion puff, waiting to be blown. She tried to look out for me. For us. Whether it mattered in the end. Everything she touched rippled into failure.
Herzlich willkommen zurück hier im Gamescom-Studio, powered by IGN 2025. Wir sind zurück in Köln. Mein Name ist Manuel Fritsch. Ich bin Chefredakteur bei IGN Deutschland und ich freue mich sehr, dass endlich wieder Gamescom-Zeit ist. Ich bin natürlich nicht alleine hier im Studio. Begleitet werde ich von meinen zwei wunderbaren Co-Hosts, Sebastian Ossowski und Anne Wernicke, die ihr natürlich auch schon von den letzten Jahren kennt. Schön, dass ihr wieder dabei seid.
Yay, moin.
Moin, moin. Draußen für uns auch in den Hallen unterwegs ist unsere rasende Reporterin Leonie. Die kennt ihr auch schon vom letzten Jahr. Die wird uns natürlich immer updaten, was draußen auf dem Messeflur geht. Und Antonia, die wir jetzt bei IGN neu als Redakteurin haben, die rennt bei uns im Businessbereich rum und wird sich auch alles genau angucken. Also wenn ihr mehr wissen wollt, schaut auf IGN Deutschland vorbei. Aber ihr könnt auch einfach hier bleiben bei uns im Studio, denn wir haben volles Programm. Und es ging ja gestern Abend schon los mit der Opening Night Live. Die Gamescom Opening Night Live ist immer die große Eröffnungsshow am Dienstagabend und die wird ja gefühlt jedes Jahr größer und größer.
Ja, richtig so.
Ja, natürlich. Ist ja auch ein Highlight der Messe. Jeff Keighley hat wieder Shocks dabei gehabt, die E-Sport-Moderatorin als Co-Moderatorin und es gab natürlich auch einige Highlights. Anne, du warst vor Ort, wir haben es gerade gesehen, du hast uns noch ein kleines Grußwort geschickt. Wie war denn so die Stimmung in der Halle vor Ort?
ach, es geht, Deutschland halt, ne? Also es ist immer so ein bisschen reserviert, ne? Und man muss die Leute schon ein bisschen motivieren, auch mal lauter zu werden und zu klatschen, aber es hängt natürlich auch von dem ab, was gezeigt wird. Und bei einigen Sachen war natürlich, ich fand es sehr lustig, die Reaktion auf Black Ops 7 und alle so, und man denkt ja, es ist so ein Riesentitel, ne? Und alle haben so richtig Bock drauf, aber es ist halt wieder das nächste Call of Duty und das kommt nicht immer so gut an, wie man meint, tatsächlich.
Obwohl sie ja eigentlich doch ein Reveal dabei hatten.
Ja, natürlich, klar. Sie hatten ja auf jeden Fall was zu zeigen. Ja, darum geht's nicht. Ich glaube, es ist einfach dieses, ja, es gibt jedes Jahr ein Call of Duty. Wer hätte das gedacht? So.
Aber denkst du wirklich, es liegt am Titel oder eher einfach an der Thematik?
Boah, nee.
Shooter.
Nö, ich glaube, es liegt einfach wirklich am Titel.
Ja. Es heißt ja nicht, dass er nicht weniger erfolgreich wird. Also die Änderungen sind ja auf jeden Fall trotzdem drin. Es war nur, finde ich, für das Gesamtprogramm ein bisschen zu lang. Es war ein sehr langer Block, bis es dann richtig in weitere Titel kam, hatten wir halt sehr viel Call of Duty.
Vor allem war das ja auch das Erste, was gezeigt wurde in der großen Show. Wir hatten ja vorher noch eine kleine Pre-Show, wo schon Kleinigkeiten gedroppt wurden und dann in der großen Show kam halt direkt erstmal so ein Batzen Call of Duty.
Aber nicht ganz. Ganz am Anfang gab es ja sofort einen Teaser, da hat Jeff Keighley, glaube ich, auch einen richtigen Riecher gehabt, erstmal kurz Silksong zu zeigen, weil das natürlich auch das Gesprächsthema hier auf der Messe. Die Hallen öffnen sich jetzt gleich, während wir hier sitzen und ich werde auch hier danach sofort rüberrennen zum Xbox-Stand und bei Nintendo, um Silksong endlich mal anzuspielen. Der große Nachfolger von Hollow Knight, das war ja einer der großen Ankündigungen, dass man es jetzt hier endlich spielen können wird. Ja, und auch da werden wir die Woche wahrscheinlich noch mehr erfahren. Da gab es so einen kleinen Teaser auf jeden Fall, bevor dann Call of Duty kam.
Das stimmt, ja.
Dann hatten wir uns ja auch immer gewünscht, dass auch ein bisschen Musik und Live-Acts dabei sind. Auch da hatten wir dieses Jahr was anderes, nämlich die Sänger und Musiker von Clair Obscur 33.
Genau, der Komponist von dem Soundtrack war da mit seiner Akustikgitarre und eine Sängerin dazu und das war wirklich sehr, sehr schön.
Habt ihr geweint?
Nein.
Habt ihr eine Träne vergossen? Warum nicht?
Wie, warum nicht?
Naja, weil ich weiß genau, bei mir im Büro kam jemand zu mir, das Spiel war gerade rausgekommen und hat gemeint, du musst es spielen, innerhalb der ersten 5 Minuten hatte ich schon Tränen in den Augen und ich saß halt so da und dachte mir, mein Gott, ja, wie hochemotional kann dieses Spiel sein? Und gestern auch, also gerade so auf X und so weiter, wenn du so gelesen hast, Live-Kommentare, haben viele wirklich gemeint, ja, das holt gleich die Erinnerung zurück, jetzt sitze ich hier und mir rollen die Tränen runter. Ja. So hochgestochen, wenn man das sagt, erfindet sich neu. Ja. Aber gerade mit den letzten 2 Titeln haben sie eine Richtung eingeschlagen, die Leute jetzt nicht unbedingt so erwartet hatten. Der letzte Teil einfach mit, ich will mal sagen, mit diesem Rumänien-Setting, das ist so in meinem Kopf so verankert, ging ja massiv durch die Decke. Habe ich selber ja auch das allererste Mal...
O trabalho hoje em dia está quebrado. Estamos todos trabalhando em muitos aplicativos.
Ah, cara, só fica nisso, cara. Só fica nisso aqui só. Ah, 3 anos. Olha lá, viagem. Evento. Já vai começar já. Não entendi porque vocês estão saindo, cara. Não entendi não. a pouco. Quero ver mais isso. Vai começar já.
Welcome to the biggest gaming playground in the world, where 500,000 people come together to play, connect, and celebrate across Cologne. 1,500 exhibitors, the biggest names in the gaming industry, bringing countless games for you to explore and dominate. And we're just getting started. Ready to jump into some gameplay? Then get set for Gamescom Opening Night Live, featuring the major announcements and brand new game trailers. Less watching, more playing? Then stop by Gamescom's unique indie area, where you're in control of and unique projects from beloved indie studios. And if that's not enough, don't miss Gamescom Awesome Indies, our show featuring the hottest new titles from the scene. Or become the hero yourself and step into the Gamescom cosplay contest, bringing cosplayers and fans together from around the globe for an unforgettable community experience. Join live shows, esports tournaments, and creator events at the Gamescom Event Arena. Can't make it to Gamescom in person? Visit our website gamescom.global and experience all program highlights via our content hub, Gamescom Now. While you're there, make your voice count in the Gamescom Award. Vote for the most exciting games, groundbreaking products, and jaw-dropping innovations presented here at Gamescom. Do you remember our incredible friends and gaming experts from IGN? Of course, they're back, hosting full days of Gamescom studio live streams on Twitch and YouTube. Oh hey, AP, crashing the party. You'll find our all-time favorite RPG Gamescom epics on our website. Join the community and grab your loot. Now moving on to something that is very important to us. Our initiative Gamescom Cares. We want to shine a light on social and environmental responsibility. In order to reduce emissions, Gamescom runs on 100% renewable energy. Just as important, accessibility is key for us. Gamescom should be a safe, inclusive space for everyone. Speaking of inclusive spaces, the Gamescom City Festival is taking over the city with live music, awesome shows, and all kinds of fun. Did we mention? Entry to the City Festival is free for everyone. Welcome to the playground. Welcome to Gamescom.
Ah, que bosta, cara.
Gamescom 2025 is here. Today on IGN's Gamescom Studio,
we're rounding up some vault hunters.
Borderlands 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Where Winds Meet, Ninja Gaiden 4, and so much more. Day one of IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2025 starts right now.
Welcome to Gamescom Studio 2025. I'm Jane Douglas here with Brian Altano and Max Scoville. Welcome to Gamescom.
Hey, Gamescom! We're doing it. Last night's Opening Night Live kicked off the show with a bunch of awesome new trailers and reveals, and over the next few days we'll be getting an even closer look at some of the biggest games right here on Gamescom Studio, including Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight, and so much more.
Lego Batman looks incredible, and we cannot wait to talk to the people making it this week. If you see a game that you like on our Gamescom show this week, show some love to the developers by wishlisting their game on Steam through the official Gamescom Steam event, and also discover tons more games that are also worth checking out. It's a great place to track all of the biggest game announcements coming out of Gamescom.
But now let's check in with Damon on the stage for a look at what's coming up next.
What's up, everybody? You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Today is the exhibitor day here at Gamescom, which is sort of the calm before the storm, but as the week goes on, things are going to get absolutely crazy out here. Coming up, we're checking in on Call of Duty Black Ops 7. After that, we're going hands-on with the upcoming portable Xbox, the ROG Ally X. Then we're talking to the folks behind the big new third-person action game Where Winds Meet, and then we're talking to the creators of the Capcom action sci-fi game Pragmata. All that and more right here in Gamescom Studio, but right now, let's check in with Ian out on the show floor.
Well, welcome to Gamescom 2025. It's a brand new show, and for the 500,000 people expected to pass through its gates, there is plenty of games to play and plenty of things to do right here on the show floor, including the ROG Xbox Ally. Or is that the ROG Xbox Ally? Or just the Xbox Ally? I don't know, but what I do know is that later on we'll be chatting to its developers, and we'll also be checking out the big Capcom threesome. That's Pragmata, Onimusha Way of the Sword, and of course Resident Evil Requiem. So if you want to find out what we think of those, make sure to stay tuned to IGN.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Later this year, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is taking us back to the future, picking up 10 years after the events of Black Ops 2 in the year 2035. Here to give us a history lesson on the not-too-distant future, Associate Creative Director Miles Leslie of Treyarch and Natalie Pohorsky, lead producer for Raven. Welcome, folks.
Oh, excited to be here.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
All right, so Black Ops 7, bringing back David Mason. So we haven't seen him for a little while, not since Black Ops 2.
We have not.
Why are we bringing him back?
So much story there. Yeah, there's a lot. How much time do we have?
Yeah.
I think the quick version is we left David in a really hard place at the end of Black Ops 2. There were branching storylines, so we've never really confirmed what really happened. Black Ops 7 will really cement that. We're not going to spoil it right now. We want you to get into it. But he's a character that has really deep, really emotional scars with physical scars and what he went through, and we always knew we wanted to go back to tell that story of after Raul Menendez and the 2025 attacks, what happened to the world and what happened to David. There was so much depth there that it was just right for telling this story with David as sort of the, I would say, the anchor to the story.
Okay. Now, Black Ops has historically drawn on mysterious, actual real historical elements like MK Ultra, numbers stations, various geopolitical events. Where are you drawing your inspiration for Black Ops 7 this time, now that it's set in the kind of future?
Oh, I love that question.
I know. Well, it is the near future, and we're also building on Black Ops 2. So there's sort of an extrapolation of where we'll be in the next 10 years and also where we've been.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We like to tap into the zeitgeist, and I think for us it's really this fear of really the world on itself is fearful, and really that's being pushed, and Black Ops 7 really leans into that fear is when the world is in a chaotic state and you don't know who to trust, even yourself, which I feel is very relatable. That's the main story that we're diving into, and you're going to get all your twists and turns and your mind bending like you would expect from Black Ops.
Yeah, now fear has, especially of late, been kind of a theme for Black Ops. And in the recent trailer, we've seen not just fear, but more of the hallucinatory, head trippy stuff. Looks a little bit like scarecrow fear toxin type scenario. Can you speak to that? How much psychological horror are we going to have in Black Ops 7?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah. I feel in Black Ops 6, we had a certain mission that was more in that, survival horror realm.
Yeah.
And we had a blast with it. We know players loved it. So part of this is just the thematic storytelling of digging further into that. It allows us to dig into Mason's brain and where he's at. And then part of it is just we had so much fun with it in the past, and we want to bring more of that back.
Yeah, it was a new way, and I think to Nato's point is we developed BO6, BO7 together, and so we knew where both games were going, and we wanted to make sure they stood on their own as really chunky, big games. And so that fear angle you're talking about, Scaregirl and Batman, it was a huge sort of inspiration on how to mess with people and really bubble up their own fears and regrets and memories. And David and his team and other characters in the game, they get that manifest. They get to experience that, and it's traumatic and also bombastic and blockbuster moments.
Yeah, it allows for a lot of like spectacle.
Oh, yeah.
Playing with that kind of warped reality stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, every entry in the Black Ops series has added something new to the way you play campaign. I want to say maybe here, like Endgame is going to be the big thing for changing up campaign. Can you tell us about Endgame?
We can, yeah. I want to start with co-op campaign in its own. Already huge innovation.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've really done that. This story really demanded that because we wanted to put players into the 4 squad, David and his team, and feel immersed in that. And then to your point is after, it's really sort of, I would say, the final proving ground, the epilogue of the campaign is you get this ending. Everything you've built is now into the end game, and we really wanted to break the rules of the campaign. We've constantly been how to push ourselves and break the mold, and it's a social experience. PvE, you and 32 other players, squads of 4, and all of the abilities and all of the different twists and turns kind of come to a head in this, again, this final proving ground. It's a lot of fun and very different, but on purpose.
Yeah, and then at this point you've spent a lot of time in Avalon, also outside of Avalon as well, but you're back in Avalon, you know this map, you know where you want to go, and it's going to be a great experience.
It all opens up now to Natalie's point where, through the linear missions, you go to Avalon, you experience little bite size of it, but we're really like teasing it, and now it all opens up. Where do you and your squad want to go? Okay,
and you're making progress and you're unlocking things that can be carried over into other parts of the game?
Yeah, so it's really about survival. So we wanted to your point about the mind bending and fear and hallucinations is part of the story. And sort of you saw it in the trailer, you kind of get hit with this toxin and that really starts to manifest these fears. Endgame ramps that up. There are difficulties that you have to progress through, and the fun and challenging part is you and your squad have to push through these difficulty zones, and you get to level up. So we have a operator leveling where you can try to get to level 60, and it's about gaining power. And narratively, we have sort of this thing called the C-Link, cerebral link, and it's like basically plugged into your brain where it's learning from your enemies. And so the more you fight, the stronger you get, and you learn from them, and you get amazing abilities. You saw some of this in trailer, like Mega Jump and some other things that really allow you and your squad to get bombastic moments.
Yeah, the Mega Jump's like a multi-story jump, like superpower stuff.
And you can chain it into the wingsuit, right? You can grapple into it. So you start to chain all these things, and that's where you've learned to use these through the campaign. And then now it's like, okay, here's the toy box. How do you want to approach it?
All right. You mentioned co-op. Can you tell us about how co-op is going to be integrated into the campaign? Like, how are you going to manage like difficulty for co-op players?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
I could dive in if you want to go.
Yeah, I think Endgame is where we get into a bit more of that, but from the beginning, again, we're putting you in with these 4 characters of the story. We want you all to be experiencing it at the same time, going through these linear missions, and so that's really the focus. I mean, you can the characters and your teammates can focus on a particular area in the gameplay, but that's where that really comes in.
Yeah, and for the difficulty is we've baked it in, so solo players, we've built it for solo or for a squad as well. You cannot pick difficulty like past games. We've baked it in because you have to approach co-op campaign differently. And we wanted to make sure the missions felt right for solo players. We're not forgetting about you, we love you. But also because it is a social experience, we want to make sure it's fun, but the right amount of challenging for 2, 3, and 4 players as well.
Okay, all right, switching gears a little bit. We saw a little bit of what looks like Dead Ops in the trailer. What can you tell us about Dead Ops?
Let's see, what can I tell you? It's over the top.
Yeah.
Literally over the top, I like saying that, but it's also really fun. And I think the other major thing, and this is really ties to the whole game, is it's rewarding. So for the first time when you're playing Dead Ops, you can progress your global progression. And so one of the big things in the game across all of Black Ops 7 is we want to reward the player's time. So it doesn't matter where you are. You're in Dead Ops, you're in Zombies, you're in multiplayer, you're in co-op campaign, you're in endgame, you are progressing your global progression. And that's huge for players because we know they never want to feel like their time's wasted. We heard you. Go play with your friends anywhere and you'll be rewarded.
Okay, and Zombies more broadly, it's back, it's round-based?
It's back, it's round-based. It's the biggest RBZ map you've ever seen in your life. It's outrageous. I love saying this because the zombie team's like, hey, the story's crazier, and it's like, crazier? Yeah, like how? They did it. It's outrageous. It's amazing. And then the original crew is back, but not as you would expect.
Okay, interesting. I just wanted to shout out because we were looking at multiplayer, and you've got a score streak, and it's like a Boston Dynamics robot dog.
Yeah.
Right? I just want to shout
You
that
nailed
out.
it.
It's like that. It looks perfect, but with a turret on it because the original
As you
big
do.
dog didn't
Yeah.
have like a mounted.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good catch, and that's a sort of a deep cut to the back to the story. Is in 2025, Black Ops 2, we had the Claw, which was like that robotic. This is sort of the evolution of that, is the dog. Yeah, it has ginormous rockets on it. It's also really cool. It can go in sentry mode, and it has a trophy system on it, so it feels, again, more like you're connected to that technology, and you and your squad can use it. But it's a beast in the campaign. It's a beast in multiplayer as well.
All right, very cool. Excited for the robot dog. Switching gears once again, right, Tiam, the Battlefield 4 beta has had 500,000 concurrents on Steam. Obviously, a lot of interest in that game, very popular. That's topping Call of Duty's record. How is Call of Duty going to like stay fresh in the face of like some stiff competition, some new competition?
Yeah, I think for us is we play all games, right? You know, and I'm not going to say we didn't play it. We had fun playing it, but for us is it's focusing on what we do best, and really the passion from the team is coming through in Black Ops 7. I hope that's coming through from the team. We're focusing on our own thing, and you know, when we're having fun and we're listening to the feedback, we think we've got something special here, and we think fans are really going to like it.
All right, and how is that success of the battle?
Ficam falando, cara. Ó, tem outro evento hoje, pessoal. Meio-dia e meio. Quem não viu aí? Ela tá lindo demais pro jogo.
Dead.
Olha, vocês estão saindo bem na hora, viu? Certo?
based on the community feedback, our ergonomic design of the previous model already good, but this time will make it even better. And some of the design details will also make it more exquisite, and I think that'll be also appealing to most of the gamer.
Sure.
Yeah, and on the other hand, I think overall gaming experience, and that is what Xbox they are good at, right? So we're working closely, we're working very hard, try to get the authentic Xbox experience onto the device. So everything starting from the user interface and how you choose to launch the game in the library, and for the game experience, it is 100% Xbox experience. So if we combine two together, then it's like the unicorn in the market. It's something that I think if we compare with the current landscape of the PC handheld gaming market, we're doing something really different, totally different, and we believe that this will be something that everyone should get their hands-on to experience in Gamescom. Yeah.
You mentioned the ergonomics before.
Yeah.
Is there anything inside the processor that would require more cooling, anything like that, or is it more just a refinement of the ergonomics purely from a user experience point of view?
Yeah, so I think for this part of design changes, it's basically mainly because of the reason I just mentioned. We want to offer an even better ergonomics. So just imagine, it's like we split the Xbox controller into two halves and then combine into a PC game handheld. And then for the controller itself, it is thicker by nature because it is more comfortable to hold. So that is the main reason why I think the overall thickness increased a little bit, but not the weight actually. So when you hold it, I think you just experienced that earlier, right? So when you hold it, it feels just so good. So actually, you don't feel it's just several millimeters thicker, but actually also based on our study and also our discussion with the community, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that much, for those several millimeter thickness if the overall ergonomic is to another level.
Sure. Right.
So that is our direction in improving,
He's dead. Infected. Oh my God. this way, not this way, not this way.
Muito massa, cara. Puta que pariu. Tá massa demais, cara.
一些背景人物啊，还有一些文化的一些援引啊，等等。 首先可能我想补充一点，就这个朝代呢，可能不仅说对于很多西方的玩家，可能包括中国的很多玩家对这个朝代的涉猎也比较少，因为它在中国的一些文学作品或者电影电视剧里面改编的数量，对比熟知的唐朝、宋朝是非常少的。对，所以那我们其实面临的任务呢，我觉得都是一样的，如何把这个朝代里面这些非常有时代张力的英雄的故事，能够好好的讲给我们全球的玩家去听，这一直是我们的一个任务和挑战。那具体到我们怎么样让海外的玩家去理解很多，比如说武侠的或者说朝代的一个背景呢？我觉得其实这里面我们也有很多是源自于我们玩家给我们的一些建议。对，然后包括可能给您举一个非常有意思的例子，就是我们游戏里面的时间，在中国是用的中国传统的计时，就子丑寅卯这样一个非常传统的计时方式。但是我们考虑到可能海外的用户比较难去理解这样的一个设计，所以我们把它转换成了动物的形式，比如说子就对应的是老鼠，它就是中国传统的12生肖。那我们用这样的一些图案去表达呢，就能更好的让用户理解这背后的一个含义，同时保留原本的原汁原味的韵味。
Right. So, to dovetail off of the comment that you just made, I think it's not just about Western players, but even for Chinese players. I think the 5 dynasties and 10 states period of time is a very niche period in history, because due to the fact that it has less depictions, both in terms of cultural media and also in terms of films and movies. Films and TV, so much less so than the more well-known Tang and Song dynasties. So I think our goal for both is essentially the same, namely in how we would tell this heroic story with this tension of the spirit of the times, how we would deliver that to both our domestic audiences and a global audience. So I think focusing a little bit more on Western players, I think a lot of the feedback from players that we've garnered has been very helpful toward us being able to localize all of these cultural, I guess, elements or historic elements to them. So as for instance, in-game, to kind of preserve the authenticity of the era, we use a time and hour system that's based on, these different characters that correspond to each hour instead of 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. But that turned out to be something that's very hard to kind of localize for Western audiences. So what we did instead is we associated each character, these hours, to a different animal. So these correspond to the 12 animals that correspond to each year. So that's what we did.
Excellent. So, diving a little bit into the gameplay, the world seems massive from what I've seen video-wise. How much freedom do we have when exploring how much freedom do we have while exploring the world?
好，那讲一讲游戏玩法方面。我们知道这个游戏的世界是非常的庞大，那么玩家在进行世界探索的时候，自由度有多大？
这个自由度其实我们是非常大的。那当然，我们提供了非常多选择给我们玩家，就是我们单人游戏大概有150个小时的时长可以去体验。当然，这个时间不是说你必须要去完成，而是你可以按你的兴趣去做。那我们的开放度呢，除了玩家可以自由的学习各种武学去战斗以外，我们在生活层面和 NPC 的交互上也有大量的这样的一些自由的玩法可以去做。举个例子，比如说我们游戏里面的 NPC， 你跟他交谈的内容可能会影响这个 NPC 的一个好感度。那如果你和他交恶的话，这 NPC 可能会来攻击你，甚至可能带动他全村一起来追赶你。对，那当然你也可以选择正当防卫，防卫之后可能呢也会有官府来追你。那你也可以选择呢，就是就此逃离远遁，但可能你跟这 NPC 的关系呢就会发生一些有趣的变化。
Right. So we offer a great deal of freedom in terms of letting the player be able to explore this huge world as they will. And we also give them a lot of choices in this regard. So we know that the single-player campaign, it has a total of around 150 hours of content. So none of this is mandatory. You don't have to play all of it, but players can, based on their pace and their enjoyment of the narrative, they can choose to play the single-player campaign at their own leisure. And in terms of the freedom, of this open world, I think it also extends to also the player's ability to learn whatever abilities and skills they want to build the kind of the combat mechanics, the type of combat styles that they want. But it also, on top of all of that, it's also kind of exemplified in the way that players are able to interact with non-player characters. So for instance, when you engage in dialogue with a random villager, you have an internal reputation system that goes along with that. So by saying the wrong things to them, it could lead to you having such a poor reputation that they decide to become hostile essentially to you, and they might even attack you or lead their entire village to go ham, to go aggressive on your ass. So and in those situations, you could choose to defend yourself, which could in turn lead to law enforcement trying to arrest you. So that could cause a whole chain reaction of these interesting interactions.
I feel like I'm going to have a lot of fun just angering a lot of people and just having a bunch of people chasing them.
Yes.
Well, with that, so where Winds Meet release?
好，我想我也是迫不及待的希望就是能够看到就是全村人追赶我的那个喜剧画面。那么燕云16神它的就是准备什么时候推出？什么时候上线？
在这里我们也给大家宣布一个非常重要的消息，就是我们已经决定在11月14日太平洋时间正式上线。所以现在呢，大家就可以去我们的游戏官网、PlayStation、Steam 以及 Epic 商城进行预约以及添加心愿单。非常期待届时与各位玩家在游戏的世界里面相逢。谢谢。
Right, so on that front, we do have an exciting announcement to make. Our game will be officially releasing on November the 14th Pacific time, so we would welcome all of you to go to our official site, to go to the PlayStation or Steam and Epic storefronts to pre-register and wishlist our game, if you will, and we will see you all in-game very soon.
That's amazing, November 14th. Eric, thank you so much. Where Winds Meets will be coming to PS5 and PC next year, coming out to November 14th. But you can wishlist it right now on Steam at the official Gamescom Steam event. There's more Gamescom Studio on the way right here on IGN.
This is Gamescom Studio. Coming up very soon, we've got closer looks at a couple upcoming Capcom games, the brand new sci-fi third-person shooter Pragmata, and the latest entry in the Onimusha series, Way of the Sword. But first, here is Valheim, Call to Arms.
A lost grey dwarf in the black forest of...
Tired of cutting cheese? Get the sword.
Porra! Essas músicas me quebram as pernas. Desculpem os jogos aqui. Quer saber? Quero saber o Resident Evil. Danada, nunca mais. Saco. Tá merda. Saco. Olha, não mudou nada, cara. Já vi ali um negócio. O trailer. Revelou mais um trailer de Resident Evil X, mostrando um pouco mais da história do próximo jogo da franquia, que é a Grace X vai viver o retorno do Rex. O trailer mostra o retorno da Lisa Rex. Oh caralho, tá difícil. Olha esse nome. O personagem visita apenas no jogo de Resident Evil o torneio. A Lisa é a mãe da Chris, a nova protagonista. O trailer divulgado no mesmo dia do lançamento do site especial aniversário, cara, de 30 anos de Resident Evil. Mostrou um pouco mais do que está acontecendo de verdade na Raccoon City, o que teria sido destruída por uma bomba nuclear. Mas, como sabemos pelo trailer de revelação do jogo, existem alguns lugares infectados na cidade. Aqui faço do Resident 9, Ó. O jogo chegará dia 27 de fevereiro de 2026 para PlayStation 5, Série X também e PC 2026. É claro, aniversário de 30 anos de Resident Evil.
Nature to do those mini games. I do worry that like it's put an extra cog in the machine, but is that really going to make a massive difference to the way this plays?
Yeah, I think it felt unique and different at first, but even from our demo, which was about 15 minutes or so, I kind of already found myself getting a bit tired of the process, and I'm wondering what they can do in the later game to like really spice up that thing. Obviously what we saw in the demo is that you can take quick options, so there's paths where you can choose where you don't activate every element, but it's enough to do a certain amount of damage, but then there's also longer paths where you can snake around, which really like open up the potential there. And I'm wondering what sort of extra elements we're going to see on that grid as the game progresses.
Yeah, as you explore the area, you do find these, I guess, for lack of a better term, you pick up different hacks that then plot themselves on the grid. So it's a case of, oh, as long as you move your line through that hack, you'll get extra damage, or it will reduce kind of like the defenses of the enemy. I'd be really interested to see just how kind of like weird and wild they get later on, or whether it is very purely just attack and defense kind of buffs and debuffs.
Yeah, at the end of the demo we also saw something a little bit more interesting in terms of combat, which was a big boss battle. He kind of looked like I forget the name, Ed something from RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we played it, I played it a little bit different to you. I was sneaking around the back and shooting a weak spot, but you were engaging it head on every time. Like,
yeah, there's definitely like those weak spots on the back, which I guess is a bit more of a traditional way you do a boss, right? Find the weak spot, shoot that, wait to get to the next stage. I went for like a full frontal attack, which did mean, I don't know if you had to hack through multiple layers of security, whereas like normal enemies, you hack them once and then you can kill them. This guy required me to go like 3 or 4 different routes through there. But then, yeah, I was able to overheat the enemy and then do kind of like effectively a quick time attack where Hugh would launch himself onto the back of the enemy and do kind of like, you know, like 4,000 damage, blow armor panels off it.
Yeah. We didn't really get to see much of what the story is or what these characters are. We just got a small introduction to them. I'm going to be honest, like, feels a bit uninspired at the moment, perhaps. I mean, it's an interesting dynamic of having a little android girl on your shoulder the entire time. There's a companion there, but I wasn't getting a sense of the relationship so far. What do you think we can see, maybe?
I sort of think, like, the smart thing I think about it is that the mechanics of the game build a symbiotic relationship between Diana the girl and Hugh the guy. They literally can't live without each other because one needs to hack and the other one needs to shoot. She can't damage and he can't damage without her. Whether that like builds into an interesting like narrative relationship, whether it, you know, kind of like, I think of characters like Joel and Ellie, they are very dependent on each other in The Last of Us, and that creates like an interesting perspective on that relationship. Whether this has that chops, we got to see, if I could even say half a cutscene. It felt so minimal in what this demo had to offer. I hope there's a lot more to see, which will eventually pull me around on what are quite clinical characters at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the only thing that's clinical, right? The location that you're exploring is very, like, as you can see from behind us, it's very white, it's very sterile. We're not sure if that's going to be the entire game consists of that sort of stuff, but I was kind of like losing my way a little bit. There wasn't really a map system, but we did get to do a little bit of exploration. But I know I did, and you also found a little bit of a tricky time, like actually finding where the last thing we needed was.
Yeah, definitely. Like this demo is set on this lunar base, which is kind of breaking down, and you need to power up sections of the facility. And that's kind of all I got about what this facility did. I know that it is powered by something, but it's not like, so for example, when I think of like interesting derelict kind of space bases, I think of something like in Dead Space when you're exploring that spaceship, and every area of it feels like it's, okay, I'm in the medical ward, I'm in the engineering bay. This feels a little bit more kind of like wholesale spaceship. There's no individual feeling of tailored environments, and that did mean that kind of like I lost myself a lot of the time. And without a map, like you cannot open a map, you only have the ability to pulse the environment and add a waypoint, which isn't a waypoint that kind of retracts itself as you're going around. You just have to follow that as the crow flies, basically. And I did find myself getting very turned around, sort of like returning to the same environments over and over and being like, I think I've been here, but I can't quite tell because everything feels a bit the same.
So interestingly, we also got a taste of a few weapons, and most of these demos you usually get the traditional weapons like a handgun equivalent, a shotgun equivalent, but there was also, I forget what it's called, but it was also one that sort of fired almost like a gravitational pull, or less a gravitational pull, but more like a freezing net action, wasn't it?
Like a stasis gun, and it shoots out kind of like a holographic dome net, I suppose, and the idea is that the enemies get caught in it, and I suppose the benefit there is why you may hack them and use the hacking minigame to stall the enemies to get them to stay in place so you can shoot them. This gun effectively does that for you and bypasses what maybe you'd need to do that through hacking.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how many of those kind of like side function weapons exist in this game, because the other stuff that we had was a very basic 6-shot pistol, and it was called the shockwave gun. It was effectively like an energy shotgun.
Yeah.
Like other than that, like fairly traditional weapon staples.
I do think that third weapon though really like it teases us with the idea that maybe this could be a game full of unique weapons and unique opportunities, and that's what I'm kind of looking for really, because I already felt like a little bit of a samey action within a small slice, so I'm really hoping that the game can open out and go some weird places. I mean, it's a weird premise, right? You want it to go weird places.
Yeah, what I want to see is not just in like the other weapons, but in the environment design as well. There is a really cool idea at the center of this game, which is that let's take third-person shooting and augment it, like rethink how that works. We slow it down, we reduce the amount of enemies, but we make each enemy harder to defeat because you have to do this hacking minigame. I kind of want that sort of level of thinking everywhere through the game. I want the environment to require more thought. I want the weapons to not just be things that shoot bullets. I want them to have odd and interesting techniques that I have to use to make the most of them.
So that's everything we've learned about Pragmata. Obviously, we got to see some other Capcom games, and you know, stick around for the show. You're going to see more of that. And on our YouTube channel, you can check out more about our thoughts on Resident Evil Requiem and on Emusha, Way of the Sword. But for everything else, Gamescom 2025, stick with IGN.
Whether it's your first journey into medieval Bohemia or you're a long-time veteran, there's never been a better time to jump into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Step into the greaves of Henry of Skalitz, who's on a quest to avenge his murdered parents, taking him from aspiring warrior to rebel for a journey full of countless adventures. Experience an authentic medieval action RPG with immersive first-person combat full of visceral, clashing steel. Prefer to get up close and personal? Attack from horseback? How about knocking a few arrows? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 encourages you to play your way and shape Henry the way you see fit. The Legacy of the Forge DLC adds Henry's home, featuring your very own forge, private quarters, and design customization for over 100 million combinations. You'll also make your return to Kuttenberg, where you'll uncover the hidden parts of your father's life, rise through the ranks and become the master of the Blacksmithing Guild, unlock unique blueprints for armor and weapons, and help the citizens with some quirky requests as you continue Henry's journey of discovery. Let's take a look.
Honoured friends, masters of the blacksmith guild, let me introduce a young master of our craft and new owner of Kutenberg's old forge, Henry of Skalitz.
Ready? We can begin.
The Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know what movies are on it or where they rank.
What do you mean you don't know?
Each episode will reveal one of the movies.
Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed. Good, I liked it.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks. Are any of the movies we've shown here even on the list? I have no idea, and it drives me crazy. Join us as we find out on Cinefix, IGN, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Why so serious?
Catch up on all your favorite shows with up-to-the-minute gaming and entertainment news with Geek Media Podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN Game Scoop.
Game Scoop has you covered for all things gaming and the...
Não precisa. É rapidinho. Lavar a louça.
sei, tem um tanto aí. Pronto, Ivan. Já apaguei.
botei aí, pessoal. Fechar aqui.
Game Jam, where studios create games that let players engage with environmental topics. This year's Jam focuses on nature and has already raised more than $275,000 for some great causes and secured 1.3 million square meters of natural habitat for protection.
If you're here at Gamescom, you can show your support by taking part in Playing for the Planet's Epics Quest. If you're watching from home, you can help by participating in the All In for Nature campaign. Find out more by heading to playingfortheplanet.org.
Coming up in a little bit, we're checking out the medieval zombie survival horror, God Save Birmingham.
But before that, we'll be getting a close look at two of this fall's biggest forquels, Borderlands 4 and Ninja Gaiden 4, or as I like to call them, Forderlands and Ninja Forden.
That second one doesn't really roll off the tongue. I hope they make a fifth one, because Ninja Fivedom is much better. Anyway, up next, we got the latest entry in a series that's had a really good track record of just hiding numbers in its sequel titles, Resident Evil Requiem. The Q in Requiem is actually a 9, but it's silent.
It's a Reninquiem.
And on that note, we'll all be quiet too. Here's Resident Evil.
We're here at Gamescom 2025. More specifically, we're in front of a dilapidated RPD station, which can only mean one thing. We're talking about Resident Evil Requiem. Myself and Matt here, we've managed to play a small dose of it, just a very small, like 15 to 20 minute section of it. Matt, what did you think?
So this demo was entirely about one thing, and that was getting away from a brand new stalker enemy. We've had the likes of Jack Baker, we've had the likes of Lady Dimitrescu. Now we've got, well, I don't even really know what she's called, but she is this horrendous. Imagine if Gollum had been injected with Bane serum and turned into a huge, hulking creature that can decapitate with its own teeth. That is what we had to run away from in this small section of a hospital.
Yeah, it's a very, and you say small section, it's a very small section. It's like one long hallway and then a couple of rooms. Not really much room to outrun like a lumbering stalker. Like, she can barely fit in the space as well. Like, she's hunchback, she's like squeezing through these environments, and you can hear her shambling the entire time. But it felt like a little bit of a fresh take on a stalker to me. Like, do you agree?
Yeah, I think whereas kind of like, for example, Lady Dimitrescu, I guess the most recent one that we've had, the way that she followed you around kind of like the castle in Resident Evil Village was fairly standard, like she ran behind you, whereas this, I think there's almost a little bit more of something like Alien Isolation in there. The stalker is able to kind of go up into the roof space and crawl across and cut you off in areas. It also has kind of the elements that Jack Baker had, where she can burst through doors, which creates new routes that you can loop around. But yeah, it does feel like genuinely like this is a step up. This is the next way of making the Mr. X kind of theory even more sort of like terrifying, even more inventive in the way that it forces you to think about the space.
I mean, interestingly, you mentioned about bursting through the door there, but we both played the game and we both saw like different versions of that. So for me, it was very much a Jack Baker. I came out and burst through, but for you, you decided to take different routes, and that didn't necessarily happen organically like it did for me.
Yeah, I think basically there are definitely trigger points, I think, for the stalker to be able to do certain things. But if you don't pass that trigger point and you move around the environment in a different way, then suddenly things aren't happening, which doesn't unlock routes for you. So like you say, if you walk down that corridor and she bursts through the door, suddenly you've created a loop between a room and a corridor. Well, I moved a different way, and that route didn't exist for me, which meant that ultimately I actually got trapped by the stalker and had to find a different way out, because I was really up against the wall. I'd not got that door to escape through.
Yeah.
And so I think kind of like seeing how that stalker, particularly presuming we get her in a larger environment than we did in this demo, I think there will be like lots of interesting kind of challenges for you to face because of the way it works with the environment.
Yeah, it's really interesting. One of my favorite touches of the new Stalker, though, what we've seen, is that she reacts to light, like light burns her skin, and I think they've really used this in a clever way to abolish one of the stranger things about a stalker in previous games. So you might have seen memes of Mr. X trying to come into your safe room and peeking his head in, but then all of a sudden decides, oh no, I can't go in that room. Well, now they've found like a law, like an actual logic reason. If she comes into your room with a bright like room light, her skin will burn and she'll retreat. And it's just those little touches that make it feel like potentially this could be a stalker of the ages.
Yeah, definitely. But the other thing is whereas this demo didn't have like a classic safe room, right? It had rooms with the big lights on that you knew would be safe. But sometimes it'll pull a trick on you where you go into that room and the light smashed out, and suddenly it's like the place that you thought was safe, the place where you thought, I'll get like 2 or 3 seconds to just get away from this creature, rethink what my plan is, suddenly that room is no longer safe. And I think that, like, playing with your expectations, a lot like Resi has done all the way through its history, particularly with the remakes, is use your expectations and then pull the carpet from under you. I think it does that very well.
Yeah, so interestingly, the rest of the demo, there was a lot of things that felt very familiar. There was a lot of collecting keys for doors. There was all sorts of that stuff. But one thing that was quite unique, well, at least for a release Resident Evil, is that you could play this in either first or third person. You can just go into the menu and switch it any time you wish. Which way did you prefer?
So I'm actually a real big fan of like Resi's pivot into first person. That's I found really increased the fear aspects, and so I played the demo all the way through in first person, and that definitely really worked for me because it really narrows kind of like your vision. And that creates very bespoke kind of like created scares. There's a moment where you go into a room and you're trying to push a cart around and bits are falling off the cart, and as you do that, because of the way your frame of vision is like honed, you see like the shadow of this creature walking past the window. And when I replay the demo with kind of like in third person and play through that section again, I didn't quite get the same scare because the way that the angle is opened up and really where Grace is in the frame covered that up.
Yeah.
However, you do get benefits for playing in third person. Dale, I know that you played a lot more of the demo in third person than me, and you were talking about the bespoke animations that has.
Yeah, so I mean, in all honesty, I prefer first person for these as well. However, I really wanted to see what it was like in third person, and when we were looking back and comparing what we did, we noticed that the third person like has very bespoke animations. Very specifically, when you're in first person, you're running away, it's just you're beelining down a corridor. But when you're in third person, Grace sometimes will trip and stumble and fall. And I feel like that was a really clever way of adding some horror elements, making you a bit scared. I think there's something, when the threat is so looming in first person, it feels way more intimidating. So third person inherently can feel a little less scary. However, I think tripping and falling is an excellent example of how they've really thought about how do we make it scary in third person as well. And it's a little touch I really appreciate.
I think the other thing that was really cool is the fact that it's not just that third person is kind of an option, like it was when they added it into Resident Evil Village. It kind of felt like it was there as a concession. Now it's definitely woven in those two viewpoints. And so there are cutscenes where the camera will go into the back of Grace's head and do things in first person, but there are also cutscenes that are bespokely made to be in third person. It feels like it's a really coherent package this time around.
Absolutely, and I hope we get to see tons more of that in the final game when it comes out in 2026. But for everything else, all Capcom games are Resident Evil. Let's keep watching at Gamescom 2025.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. From Dawn of the Dead to Dead Rising, there's plenty of zombie fiction that takes place in shopping centres, but so far, none of it has also taken place in the Middle Ages. Here to tell us about God Save Birmingham, creative director Hyung Song Cha and content manager Gwyn Kim will be translating. Hi. Now, no offence to our UK audience, but why Birmingham and why not Paris or Berlin or London?
파리나 베를린, 런던 같은 도시가 아니라 어째서 버밍엄을 선택하셨는지에 대한 질문이 나왔습니다.
네, 저희가 참 많이 듣는 질문인데요. 저희도 중세 시대를 배경으로 한 좀비 서바이벌 게임을 기획했을 때 가장 먼저 고려했던 도시들이 파리, 런던 같은 현대 유럽 도시들의 가장 큰 수도 도시들이었는데요. 다만 저희가 그것에 대한 리서치를 시작했을 때 그 도시들은 이미 중세 시대에도 굉장히 큰 도시였습니다. 저희의 개발팀이 그렇게까지 큰 편은 아니기 때문에 저희가 제작을 충분히 할 수 있는 규모의 도시를 선정했어야 됐었고, 그래서 현재까지도 명맥이 유지되는 아주 유명한 도시이나 중세 시대에는 그렇게까지 크지 않았던 도시를 중심으로 다시 리서치를 시작했고, 그 리서치의 후보 중에 하나가 버밍엄이었는데, 버밍엄 뮤지엄에서 아주 좋은 역사 사료를 유튜브에 공개해 주셨습니다. 그 사료를 확인해 보고 이 자료가 우리 게임을 만드는 데 굉장히 많이 도움이 되겠다 해서 그 결정적인 역할을 해서 버밍엄을 선택하게 되었습니다.
So when the team decided to create a zombie survival based in the Middle Ages, they actually did consider those cities like London, Paris, Berlin, those famous capitals in many countries. During research, though, they learned that those cities were still pretty sizable even back in the Middle Ages, and considering the size of the dev team, which is not too big, they felt the scope would be a little bit beyond what they could manage. So they did another set of research to find a city that's still famous, still around, and was around back in the Middle Ages, but of more of a manageable size that they could handle. And during that process, they found a YouTube video posted by the Museum of Birmingham, and while they watched it and took a close look at it, they felt that would tremendously help them create the city for the game, and that's how they decided with Birmingham.
And so it sounds like you started with the Middle Ages before the city. So what is it about that time period that made you want to create the game there?
네, 그래서 기획 단계에서부터 중세를 고려하셨던 것으로 보이는데 중세를 선택하게 된 이유가 있다면 설명 부탁드리겠습니다.
네. 저희 좀비물의 굉장한 팬으로서 저는 또 더 처절하고 어려운 그런 환경에서 살아남는 좀비 게임을 만들고 싶었는데, 네, 그쵸. 현대적인 총기라든지 그런 엔진의 힘을 빌릴 수 없는 중세 시대를 고려하게 되었습니다.
So, as a big fan of zombie games himself, Hyunsung was intending to create a zombie survival game that's even more desperate, even more difficult, and wanted to choose a time period where you can't find the modern firearms or like engine or motor driven tools or power tools. So he decided to choose the Middle Ages for that.
So what are we going to do about the zombies? Without all those kind of modern gadgets and shotguns and chainsaws, how do we fight back?
샷건이나 전기톱 같은 그 현대 도구들 없이 어떻게 좀비와 싸울 수 있을지에 대한 질문이었습니다.
네. 우선적으로는 게임에서 제공하는 중세의 많은 냉병기들을 잘 활용할 수 있어야 되고요. 저희는 그런 무기들의 카테고리마다 다양한 메커니즘을 제공해 줄 예정이라 그런 무기별 메커니즘을 플레이어가 잘 익히고 적재적소에 잘 사용하는 게 가장 주된 점이고요. 그리고 저희의 그 적극적으로 활용하고 있는 피직스 엔진에 의해서 게임 속의 많은 사물들을 자유롭게 물리적으로 들어옮기고 던지고 할 수 있습니다. 그런 것들을 활용해서 좀비를 넘어뜨린다거나 그리고 좀비의 접근을 막는 등 이렇게 적극적으로 활용해서 좀비에 대적할 수 있습니다.
So the game will be providing various cold weapons, and each weapon category would have its own set of mechanics tied to it. So the player would need to learn how to use them and use them well in the right place in the right time. That'd be one way to do it, and also the game uses the physics engine feature.
Não quero ter spoiler, não. Não tem mais nada, não. cobertura de desmação.
Superhuman side of it.
Text, moveset.
Não, mas o Julius, eu dei esse exemplo, mas na verdade o Superman ele é um cara generoso, ele é um cara bom.
Orixina de Pro, multiplação contra gripes e resfriados.
Olha o comedor de hambúrguer. Marcelo, Marcelo. Ô Marcelo, não faz isso, cara. Deixa o cara comer hambúrguer em paz, pô. Tranquilo, deixa o cara. Tô bem hidratado, até demais, eu acho. Tô tomando muita água. Por isso que eu já fui no banheiro 2 vezes durante essa live aqui.
Ai, que chega alguma coisa mais.
You're watching Gamescom Studio on IGN. Next month, the original looter shooter is back. Here to tell us what fans have to look forward to in Borderlands 4 is founder and president of Gearbox Software, Randy Pitchford. What's up, Randy?
Hey, we're at Gamescom. That's what's up.
That is it. Gamescom is what is up. Randy, Borderlands is almost here.
I know.
It's almost
I'm
here.
freaking out. I'm freaking out.
I bet. Now I do.
Tô montando tudo. Os caras são foda.
Fala pessoal, eu sou o Flow Games Fênix aqui, passando para falar para vocês que eu joguei Resident Evil Requiem, ou Resident Evil 9, né? Uma demo que você joga com a Grace, você tá num lugar que não sei bem onde é, mas parece muito uma das mansões clássicas do Resident Evil. Ela tá presa, estão tirando o sangue dela, ela se solta, ela fala inclusive no começo da demo, ó, o que ele fez comigo? Ele quem? Eu não sei quem. Eles não falaram, ficou em aberto isso aí. essa demo é exatamente a demo que eu vi gameplay na Summer Game Fest. Eu não cheguei a jogar na Summer Game Fest, mas eu vi o gameplay dela e dessa vez eu pude jogar de fato, né? Eu pude testar o modo primeira pessoa e terceira pessoa. Posso falar pra vocês que, cara, eu preferi muito mais primeira pessoa do que terceira pessoa, porque como ela é um jogo muito mais de terror, pelo menos essa demo que eu joguei é muito mais terror que os outros Resident Evil, ele é um pouco mais parecido com o 7, mas, pô, até mais que o 7, né? Porque a demo inteira eu não tive arma, mas eu acho que eventualmente eu vou pegar uma arma no jogo, né? Mas, enfim, o ponto é, em primeira pessoa, o terror fica muito mais imersivo, muito mais tenso, você fica nervoso. Então, eu acho que o primeira pessoa foi melhor para essa demo. Eu joguei metade dela em primeira pessoa, metade em terceira pessoa. Ah, e um negócio muito legal, vocês estão vendo aí, gameplay do jogo é o meu gameplay, é o que eu joguei. Por sorte, eu vim nesse evento aqui, ó, da NVIDIA, muito obrigado a NVIDIA pelo convite, e nesse evento da NVIDIA a gente pôde gravar o gameplay do PC, que é muito bom, né? FPS altíssimo, qualidade gráfica no máximo nesses PCs aqui, insanos da NVIDIA que tem aqui nesse evento, tudo com 5090, tá? Eu conferi todos com 5090. Então eu joguei num super PC o Resident Evil Requiem, eu não tive nenhum problema de performance, era de se esperar, né? Se tivesse, mas não teve nada, rodou super bem, o jogo super tenso, muito Resident Evil, momentos muito Resident Evil, tipo, você acha uma porta, ela tá trancada e tem um símbolo de um bebê anjo nela, aí você já sabe que você tem que achar uma chave, um bebê anjo na chave, né? E aí você anda, acha a chave, abre a porta, e aí o que tem atrás dela? Uma caixa que se você só abre com uma... Porra, eu não lembro o nome em português agora, só em inglês. Screwdriver. Sabe, uma screwdriver? Aí você tem que achar a screwdriver. E aí você vai fazendo isso. Só que enquanto você faz tudo isso, tem uma perseguidora atrás de você, né? O Cross gosta muito disso. Assim como no Resident Evil 2 e 3, a gente já falou isso aqui no Flow Games, inclusive quando eu e o Cross a gente assistiu a demo lá na Summer, tem uma perseguidora que é muito bizarra. É uma mulher altíssima, vocês estão vendo aí, finalmente vocês podem ver ela, né? Porque na Summer a gente não podia mostrar nada que a gente viu, mas agora vocês estão vendo. Ela é muito bizarra e a apresentação dela é muito impactante. É uma cena que, primeiro eu tomei um susto do bicho caindo em mim e depois é assustador. Ela vem e come o bicho, é bizarro. E é muito bem feito, cara. É muito Resident Evil. Eu adorei, eu acho que esse pode ser muito um digno Resident Evil 9, que eu tô muito empolgado agora pra jogar mais ele. Eu já joguei essa demo, que é 20 minutos, 30 minutos no máximo, então foi muito rapidinho. Eu quero muito jogar mais. Quem sabe, né? Ano que vem a gente finalmente pode encostar nele e jogar. Então é isso, essas foram as impressões. Como falei, é uma demo muito curta, então não tem muito que eu posso falar, mas eu acho que consegui enfatizar todos os pontos que eu queria enfatizar aqui. Ambientes muito escuros, momentos muito Resident Evil que você liga uma luz e aí ela falha e ela para de funcionar, né? Essas coisas que você fala, não é possível, é muito Resident Evil. Uns sustos aqui e ali, assim, muito bem feito o jogo, gostei muito. A Capcom tá on fire, né, cara? Eles estão acertando muito. Inclusive eu joguei Pragmata aqui também, mas esse é um papo para outro vídeo, né? Então essas foram as minhas impressões sobre a demo do Resident Evil Requiem, que eu joguei aqui na Gamescom. Na verdade, eu joguei aqui no stand da NVIDIA. Eu vou jogar essa mesma demo, eu acho, 2 vezes mais no booth da Capcom lá na Gamescom. Então eu vou jogar mais essa demo para ter mais impressões e quem sabe eu trago no Flow Games também as novas impressões que eu tiver. Mas essa demo foi no PC, as outras eu não sei como vão ser. Mas é isso, espero que vocês tenham gostado. Deixa o like aí embaixo se você gostou, porque, cara, muito foda, né? O Flow Games está lá na Alemanha, mano. Olha esse evento aqui da NVIDIA. Muito legal. Eu não sei se pode mostrar eu acho que não mostrou. Mas é isso. Flow Games na Alemanha, na Gamescom 2025. Espero que tenham gostado e até o próximo vídeo. Falou!
Cara, muito massa. Massa pra caramba, cara. Ver se tem mais alguma coisa ali, pessoal. Senão nós vamos se despedindo aqui. Tá voltando tudo, cara.
The way this version of the gravity balls are being used. My favorite are just pure locking and crowd control. Suspensions, I like holding enemies in the air for me. I like some of the moves can automatically bounce the gravity balls from enemy to enemy. And you notice in this one too, it'll time dilate. Like let's see if it's on cooldown right now. We got another 30 seconds, but it can surround an enemy and slow them down to almost nothing, and it also slows down bullets, which is kind of cool too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, this is looking just like my kind of character, so I can't wait to get hands-on with Harlow. Now, back in pre-sequel, there was a lot of like multiplayer interaction that you could have with the other Vault Hunters. Are we going to see any of that kind of? I know you talked about tweaking stuff and back things.
One of the boldest, scariest decisions I made when we were working on Borderlands 3 was to insist